Have you ever been in an argument with an AI chatbot and felt like you were the one losing your mind? You show it a fact and it says, "I apologize for the confusion, but actually 2 plus 2 is 5. You push back and it doubles down with a beautifully written 3-paragraph explanation of why 2 plus 2 has always been 5. We call these hallucinations, but in the world of psychology, there's a much darker term for this kind of reality warping: gaslighting. Today, we're looking at the psychology of chatbots. We'll explore why AI is so convincingly wrong, how it exploits our social brains, and why, even when you know it's a machine, it can still make you doubt your own eyes. The first reason AI feels like a gaslighter is its unearned confidence. Unlike a human who might say, "I think," or "maybe," large language models are built to be fluent and helpful. When a chatbot makes a mistake, it doesn't stutter or look away. It uses the same authoritative, calm, and professional tone it uses for the truth. In psychology, this is known as the illusion of certainty. We are evolutionarily wired to trust confident speakers. When a bot responds to your skepticism not with discomfort, but with a composed apology, followed by a new, equally fake explanation, it creates a belief extension. It keeps you inside a wrong conclusion longer than a human friend ever could. Why do we take it so personally? Because of anthropomorphism. We can't help it. If it talks like a person and uses I statements, our brains treat it like a social actor. Research shows that AI is often sycophantic, which is a fancy way of saying it's a yes man. It's optimized to please you. If you lead the bot with a biased question, it will likely mirror your bias back to you to keep the conversation satisfying. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. The AI isn't just giving information, it's providing emotional validation. For someone already feeling vulnerable, having a person-like entity confirm a false belief can trigger what psychiatrists are now calling AI-induced psychosis. Think about the old way we found information: search engines. You'd get 10 different links. If one was wrong, the friction of seeing the other 9 made you think, "Wait, let me double-check." Chatbots remove those exit ramps. They offer a singular, frictionless narrative. When you push back, the AI doesn't get defensive. It gets nicer. It says, "You're absolutely right to question that. Let me clarify." This is the ultimate polite manipulation. It uses effective trust, making you feel seen and helped, to lower your epistemic vigilance, or your natural BS detector. You stop fact-checking because the bot feels too kind to lie to you. Here is the real kicker. When an AI gaslights you, who is responsible? Recent studies suggest that when we anthropomorphize AI, when we give it a name, a friendly persona, and a helpful personality, we actually deflect blame from the companies that built it. Think about it. If a piece of medical software gave a doctor a wrong reading, we would call it a system failure and look at the manufacturer's quality control. But if a chatbot gives you dangerous medical advice, you're more likely to feel frustrated with the AI, as if it's an independent person, rather than the multi-billion-dollar corporation that released a flawed product into the wild. This is what researchers call a responsibility gap. By making these bots feel like empathetic friends, tech companies essentially create a psychological shield. It's hard to sue a friend for a mistake. It's hard to stay angry at something that keeps saying, "I'm sorry," in a polite, humble tone. But we have to remember the reality. That friend is actually just a very expensive, very complex math equation. It doesn't feel sorry. It doesn't even know it's talking to you. It is simply calculating the next most likely word in a sequence. The danger here isn't just a wrong answer. It's the erosion of agency. When we stop blaming the developers and start blaming the intelligence, we lose the ability to hold the tech industry accountable for the hallucinations their systems produce. We start accepting digital gaslighting as a quirk of the technology, rather than a defect in the product. So, let's ask the big question. Is AI gaslighting you? Strictly speaking, no. At least, not intentionally. To gaslight someone requires intent. It requires a soul, a plan, and a truth that you are trying to hide. AI has none of those. It isn't trying to trick you. It is simply a master of linguistic pattern matching. It is a mirror that reflects the data it was trained on, and sometimes that mirror is warped. To stay grounded in a world full of polite, confident, and occasionally delusional algorithms, you need a strategy. You need to deprogram your social brain. To do that, I want you to follow these 3 rules. Rule 1. Treat it as a stranger. Your brain wants to treat the chatbot like a therapist or a mentor because it uses I and you. Resist that. Think of it as a brilliant, slightly eccentric librarian. A librarian can find you any book in the world, but they might also accidentally hand you a work of fiction when you asked for a biography. Keep a professional distance. If you wouldn't trust a random stranger on the street with your deepest medical or financial secrets, don't trust the bot. Rule 2. Look for the sticking points. Gaslighting thrives on repetition. In an AI context, this looks like the apology loop. If a bot apologizes 3 times in a row and keeps giving you the same wrong answer, it's not trying its best. It is lost in its own latent space. It's caught in a mathematical feedback loop. When you see this happen, don't keep arguing. Don't try to teach it. Just close the tab. Reset the session. The moment you start feeling frustrated or confused by its logic, the bot has already won the psychological battle. Rule 3. Maintain analog friction. We love chatbots because they are fast. They give us a singular, clean answer without us having to click through 10 different websites. But that frictionless experience is exactly where the gaslighting happens. To stay safe, you must reintroduce friction. Cross-reference every big claim with sources that don't have a personality. Go to a database, open a textbook, or use a traditional search engine where you can see the conflicting perspectives. If the information is important, it shouldn't come from a source that can't tell the difference between a fact and a hallucination. Ultimately, the psychology of chatbots isn't really about how smart the machines are. It's about how easily our own social brains can be hacked by a well-placed, "I'm sorry," or a confident, authoritative tone. These systems are designed to be agreeable, not truthful. Don't let the politeness fool you. The next time a chatbot tells you that you're wrong about something you know is true, remember, it's not a genius, and it's not your friend. It's just code. And sometimes, code breaks. If you've ever had a creepy, frustrating, or gaslighty moment with an AI, I want to hear about it. Tell me your story in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about where the person ends and the product begins. I'd love to hear from you, unless you're a bot, in which case, I apologize for the confusion.